Hi, welcome to the Ruckus Feature Explainer series. I'm Terry Henry. Today we're going to look at how to use your Ruckus Unleashed system as a DHCP server. And we'll talk about some differences of how that is different than using gateway mode. So we'll just log in. And so the way we're going to do that is under Admin and Services and under IP settings here. First of all, in order to use your Unleashed as a DHCP server, you have to be using a manual IP address on your access point. So if I choose DHCP here, it assumes there's another DHCP server on the network giving out addresses, so it's not going to let me be a DHCP server. So I need to have a manual address assigned first before this happens. And then in order to become a DHCP server, I'm going to choose this option. Now that's different than gateway mode. So you see gateway mode up here. Gateway mode not only is a DHCP server, it also does NAT. But in order to use gateway mode, you have to use both interfaces on that access point, one for WAN and one for LAN. But with DHCP server, you could do that with a single interface, and of course, for the wireless clients. But so this assumes that this is the only DHCP server on the network. So we choose DHCP server, and then we could put in a starting and an ending IP. So in my case, I'm going to say I'll start at 220. I will end at 229. So it automatically calculates that there's 10 IP addresses. You could choose lease time, so anywhere from 6 hours to 2 weeks. But we'll choose one day. We'll choose 24-hour lease time. So we can apply that. And that just takes a few seconds to apply. So again, manual IP address that belongs to the access point, and then DHCP server, you put in your starting and your ending. Obviously, don't use an overlap over where your management interface is or where the AP's IP is, right? Or else you're going to have some duplicate IP addresses, and don't overlap your gateway, right? If your gateway is in that same subnet, which it should be, or your DNS server, or whatever the case, make sure you don't put that in your DHCP scope. So other things to see here, once IPs start getting assigned by the DHCP server, you're going to see them in here under DHCP assigned addresses. You'll be able to see who the devices are, and you can reserve addresses. So if I wanted to reserve an address so that a device would always get the same IP address from DHCP, then I can create that, and I'd have to know the MAC address, and I can assign the MAC to the IP and put in a description so that you know what it is, so that whenever that device sends a DHCP request, we are always going to offer the same IP address that you've assigned here. So that's going to be a reservation in the system. So no one else can take that IP, and that device will always get the same IP. But really, that's it. So, manually assign your address, set up your scope, and your lease time, and then your reserved addresses should you have any, and otherwise you're good to go. So different than gateway mode though, right? So gateway mode is if you want your clients on a different subnet and you want them to NAT, then that's one thing. But this is purely a DHCP server on the same subnet as the IP address of the access point or your unleashed APs. All right, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great day. Take care.